Hey traders, Raghee here. Welcome to a very unusual week. We have this holiday affected shortened week. And, as far as I'm concerned, as we take a look at what we've got going on this week in particular, we really have two trading days this week. Wednesday morning, maybe two and a half. Oh, there we go. Wednesday, my camera. There we go. Or not. Okay. So what we have is basically Wednesday morning, we have a bit of, actually, you know what? Let's jump in. I'll show you what I'm talking about in terms of the data. So this week, of course, Thursday, we have Thanksgiving. Then we have the big holiday, Black Friday, a half trading day. And certainly Monday, Tuesday, today, and tomorrow are about as unaffected by the holiday we'll get as far as trading sessions go. Wednesday, we have data. Otherwise, I'd imagine Wednesday would be pretty much phoned in. So let's talk about the data we have coming up. Let's see here. Let's go to Forex Factory. Am I logged in? I am. Let's jump on over to Forex Factory. And if you take a look, there we go. If you take a look at what we're dealing with here, Monday, just nothing, right? Really nothing. CB leading index at 10 a.m., which is a very low heat hot zone, but with nothing else on the calendar could take an outsized reaction. Then we have Tuesday. Once again, mostly a big cup of nothing until 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. All right, that makes sense. It's Tuesday. It's still sort of a normal week up until then. And then Wednesday, we do have some data that could be important. With the Thanksgiving holiday, they move up the typical Thursday release of the unemployment claims. We've got durable good orders, but we've got that University of Michigan inflation expectation. And as long as we're expecting the Federal Reserve to cut once, if not twice, by the July 3-1 meeting next year, that could be every little bit of inflation expectation, PMIs, CPEs, CPEs, PCIs. It's going to be CPIs. The coffee has clearly not kicked in yet. As long as we have that alphabet soup around the inflation expectation, target rate probabilities will continue to vacillate between will they or won't they, and how soon. How soon is still May, right? When we take a look at the target rate probabilities, when we look at the data, we're not trading by gut. My colon has nothing to say about macroeconomics. I know, insert all the jokes there that you want, but really, ultimately, what we have is expectations that the Federal Reserve is going to come to the rescue and they're going to start to cut rates. All right. So with that being said, this is Forex Factory, and this is what we've got going on. Friday, here we have a little bit more data, but again, Friday is going to be phoned in, maybe a little bit of flash manufacturing PMI, right? That's one of those important alphabet soup numbers. But we do have two big inflation numbers coming out after, and this is where it gets interesting, after we hear from what the Federal Reserve had to say at the last meeting, which is what those meeting minutes are. Okay, so that's what we've got coming up this week. It's a weird week. It's not one that I anticipate making some major decisions around, keeping things short and nimble. And I should say short term, not short. I mean, gosh, I'm not a bear. So we definitely have some short-term opportunities, and I want to be ready for those. And even more so, I want to be ready for next week. Next week is going to be, as we wrap up the month of November, next week is going to be likely a lot more volume than we'll see this week. And ultimately, I'd like to find opportunities to take us into December, where I am very bullish, gang. I mean, I've been bullish all year. Even the Russell has managed to get above some key levels in terms of where it stands from the beginning of the year. This was the laggiest of the indices. Second to this, a little less laggy, but laggy all the same because of financials, was the Dow. And even the Dow starting to really start to fire on more cylinders as financials. XLF is starting to look like a nice surging sector into year end. That's going to help the Dow. That's going to help the S&P. And as we've talked about quite a bit, if XLF financials and XLK, the tech, can continue to outperform, S&P can maybe not only keep up with the Nas, but maybe even outperform it. Exciting, exciting month ahead, and very excited for 2024. So that's what we've got here. As always, the best part of our show are your questions. So let's get to it. First up is Jim, who asks, where do I find date and time for Treasury auctions? Forex Factory. Jim, Forex Factory will have all that. The 10-year auction, the 30-year. Forex Factory will list that in their calendar. I believe Trading Economics will probably as well. I've been looking at Forex Factory probably for 20 years, so it's just habit to go look over there. But yes, forexfactory.com will have that. As far as reaction to that bond auction, I think that the bond auction is going to be second in impact to the expectations that the Federal Reserve is going to cut. And as long as the expectations are for that cut, yields have to go down, right? Which is to say ZB and TLT have to go up. So that's the way I'm looking at that. So I got to balance the auction with the actual macroeconomic expectation of a dovish turn from the Fed come next year, as early as May, as the May meeting. All right. What site am I using for the Fed calendar? DG, I don't look at a Fed calendar. I look at the Forex Factory calendar, which I like a lot. There we go. The Forex Factory calendar, which is great. This is the Trading Economics calendar. And kind of going back to the question about auctions, yeah, we have all these different auctions. You'll see this, the minutes, 3 months, 6 month, 20-year, right? They're all over the place. Yes, but I don't find they're as big a mover. I keep an eye on the 15 and 30-year mortgage rates too. They're good to get from a rate of change perspective, right? It's not a hot zone where I'm necessarily going to have a trading opportunity. But when you look at, say, a 4-week moving average, when you look at the rate of change, the trend of the data, that's when it can get pretty helpful. All right. So thanks for the question. By the way, gang, you know that I always like to mention when we have sales, because look, I would love for you to have access to the Sector Secrets Mastery and the DPMRs and the HPMRs. But what I always tell folks is to wait, right? When people say, Rag, I want to buy your Volume Max kit. Wait until I either have a class, in which case it's usually got a great bundle included with the class, or wait until we have a sale. This is as big a sale we typically have every year. That's our Black Friday. So while you're doing all your other shopping and there's things that are on your wish list here, go ahead. A lot of members say, Rog, I re-up Sector Secrets Mastery during Black Friday, or I re-up my hourly price movement ranges. They're practically a third off. Do it, right? Save money. Put that money in your trading account. So I like to make sure everyone knows that if you haven't already, and there's some things that are on your wish list, or you want to re-up some of the tools, now is the time to do it. All right. And there's the code. Is the code on the screen? It is. It is. All right. I am Groot. Will XLF have a weak December because October was weak with tax loss? Yeah, so great question. Are we going to see what happened in October with the mutual funds that had the October year end? Are we going to see that echo through December? And then, to what degree would we be concerned that XLF is going to struggle with that? But I'll tell you what, I am Groot. I hear you. Look at here. I'm going to drop some vertical lines. It's really interesting. I always like to think about the end of something is much more telling about the beginning than the beginning of something, right? The end of something. And as we were leaving October, rather than hitting even lower lows, you can see a little bit more movement higher. And if you look at the inflows that we saw at the end of October, they were very interesting. They were very telling. Do I expect there to be weakness in October? If the end of October is any harbinger for what we'll see in December, I would not be bearish. I would not be bearish, my friend. Great question, though. And it's really the way it ended, right? Because October, the year end, October is not October 1 necessarily, right? As that month ends, what were traders willing to do? And I think as we go into, for me, what I look at is I will think more bullishly when price is above the 200 period exponential. Those white dots. That's the 200 propulsion. as I go into early November, not only have we continued that bullishness that we saw at the end of October, we've broken through the equator. We're in the bullish hemisphere now. So I'll continue to be bullish. I'm not looking for the shoe to drop on financials. Now, where could the shoe drop? I would be much more wary in healthcare. I would be much more wary in regional banks. I would be a little cautious there because they're still in the bearish hemisphere. You can see the high tide is lifting a lot of boats, right? This is not the time to, and by the way, not any time this year has been a time to be some uber bear looking for some dramatic fall because of fill in the blank nonsense reason. Uh, this is not the time to say, but the dollar, no, but the bonds, no. They have not mapped to lower equities, especially in the NASDAQ and the S&P all year, right? The NAS has been doing fine. It stayed above the 200 almost all year, despite the 10-year with higher yields. So please, please, please let go this notion that if the yields are higher, equities must fall. They don't, and they didn't, even more so. So yeah, great question on the XLF. I will continue to focus on that. Al asks, what indicators come with the Sector Secrets Mastery Program? So we have a layout, Al, that we put together for members. It's a shared layout, and it includes the multi-trend. It includes the Sector Secret Slow Stow, which is my custom slow stochastic. It includes the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, Dow futures, and ETF hourly price movement range. You get the four most popular HPMR symbols. That comes with the mastery. Grab, Wave, Propulsion, Darvis 2.0. I'm trying to think what else. Anything that you would need that I use on a regular basis in the mastery comes with it. And while there are other things you can get, those basics are definitely going to be the foundation for understanding the things that I do. Yeah. So everything you need. Oh, and the clearing range tool. Gosh, so a lot of you asking, Rog, what about that Pingala thing I hear you talk about? The clearing range tool and the Pingala, right? That little zone that gives us a sentiment read very early in the session. That's included as well. A lot of great stuff. You know, when the Trish boss was putting together what would ultimately become the Sector Secrets Mastery, and really at this point, the All Raghee Room, which really I need to just call it the All Raghee Room. We're looking at longer term portfolios. We're looking at swing trades. We're looking at day trades. And now the bot has brought scalping, 4 different trading styles in the one room. The whole idea was that when you joined on day one, everything that you need to follow along is there. And that's still the way that we operate. You know, when you enter the room, you don't need to scramble for other things. We don't want anyone feeling that way. Mr. Walker asks, how often are the daily price movement ranges updated? I'd say about every 21 to 28 days. And I think the HPMRs are about every 14 to 21 days. It's about every 3 to 4 weeks. And I'd say the HPMRs are every 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Next up is, and yeah, there you go, from the bot. Okay. Does Interactive Broker TWS support the tools? Donald, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. I do believe, however, that if you go to, I don't know if they're yet working with, no, they're not. I wasn't sure if they were working with TradingView yet because, oh, there they are. There they are. So here's the way to do it. This is what I recommend. If you've got TradeStation, if you've got, we have a lot of folks on Trade-Avate and Tradier. If you're on, there's Interactive Brokers there. If you're with any one of these firms, what I would recommend is obviously trade through that company's interface platform, but you can use TradingView as your charting. And we have quite a few traders who do that. All right. So the way that it has to happen is that we use the platform to enter, insert the, TradingView, Tradier, TradeViz, Trade-Avate, etc. Right? But use TradingView, the platform. TradingView is not a brokerage, right? But they work with a lot of brokerages. And so that's what I usually recommend. So I support two platforms, Thinkorswim, which is still by far the most popular here at Simpler Trading by a landslide. There's probably not even a close second, really. And then I recommend having Trading View as a backup. Now, I pay for Trading View too. People say, Rob, do you use Trading View? Oh my gosh, gang. I will be updating my Trading View with the Black Friday where they have an unbelievable sale, right? What level am I at right now? Premium. That's what I pay for, right? I use the premium Trading View. All right. I think it's 70% off. It's something ludicrous. So yeah, every Black Friday, I go ahead and I re-up my my Trading View, and it allows me to, there you go, unbelievable. And it allows me to use my TradeStation account. It allows me to use my Tradier account to, not to trade, but for the charting. So I hope that helps as far as a solution to those of you that are not on Thinkorswim or that are not on, whatever platform that we might be using commonly here at Simpler. I'll go back and forth between Thinkorswim charts and Trading View. All right. And you know what? One thing I will tell you that I love about Trading View, and those of you that do the swing trades with me in the mastery know that I use the Trading View charts and the alerts on my iPad, on my iPhone, and it looks gorgeous on the iPhone because I get all the same indicators on my phone that I would see on my desktop. And it's, I think, the only platform I know that can accommodate custom indicators. So I just have a teeny tiny version of my layout, which is this right here, the teeny tiny layout of my charts on the, and where are my charts? On the on my phone, which is fantastic. So I can see exactly what I want to see on my phone. So this exists on my phone. All the indicators, hourly price movement range, multi-trend, everything. So really love it. Again, I don't know the folks at TradingView. I just think their charting platform is amazing. And again, they are not a brokerage. They are going to plug into a number of other brokerages. When will my next class be? I got to ask the Trish boss, Kay. I just trade. I will let you all know when I know. We just did one in August, September. I'm imagining sometime in Q1, but I'm not really sure. Okay, I will definitely let you all know. Believe me, you will hear about it. You won't miss it. We will let you know. All right. Mark asked, so everything you are using, Mark, I don't know the extent of the sale. I am not in the sales side and marketing side of things. I believe so, but yeah, check out the website. I don't know if everything is. I believe so though, Mark. I'm sure there are some exceptions, so I don't want to say yes, but I believe so. Do the indicators automatically update once I install them on my PC? Alan, the Trading View is pushed. So the updates are pushed. And the Thinkorswim, you just have to update with the new ThinkScript. So do you have to reinstall? No, you do have to update, which I guess is like an installation. So when the bot is going to push a new daily price movement range or hourly price movement range, you get the files and you just upload them into TOS. It overwrites the old file. It's really 5 clicks. It's pretty simple. And of course, in the tech sessions that we do every Monday, like today at noon, if you're having any issues with any of my indicators, bot is there for an hour every week on a Monday to kick the week off at noon Eastern to walk you through any tech issues. And we have all those sessions archived as well. All right. So I hope that helps. As always, gang, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the questions. We are opening above the previous session. We are opening above the previous session close. Hard not to be bullish today, although it's not massively above the previous session close. I do expect a lot of apathy. I do expect a lot of distraction. This is a funny week. A lot of important data, though, so let's not phone it in. And let's make sure you remember that with 2 big hot zones, with the University of Michigan inflation expectations and that PMI data, as well as the Tuesday FOMC meeting minutes. Yeah, we're going to have some interesting data this week. Be good to each other, gang. And by the way, I will be doing charts and coffee every day this week, even on Thanksgiving. We usually have a big Thanksgiving charts and coffee. That's my thank you to you. We usually take all sorts of questions. What's your outlook for 2024? How are you positioning right now? What kind of trades are you looking for? We'll be doing this on Thanksgiving too. All right, gang. Be good to each other. I'll talk with you soon.